I have a superpower. There's no secret to the superpower. People who are athletes, astronauts, leaders of the greatest companies, people like you, here in the room, you might be using the same superpower. This is a story of how I learned to train my mind. Here's a picture of me. It was taken in Switzerland 2011. It was my third World Championship. Together with our team, we had already won the 2 previous ones, and now we were fighting to win for the 3rd year in a row. This picture sums up pretty well what's going through my mind before entering the ice. As you can see, I can feel a sense of calmness inside of me. I can hear the audience cheer on us. I can feel that energy from my teammates, and I can feel that adrenaline rush inside of my body. It's the best feeling ever. Now, at this moment, there was only 1% left of the entire season to do. To skate the best program. And this was the program that would define the entire season for us. As you can see, we were young and eager to win, and coming second in a competition was never an option. We had to strive for endless perfection. So how did we deal with the pressures we had? I started figure skating in a young age, and already when I was 7 years old, I started competing. Now, since I was a little girl, I always had a dream of being this figure skating princess, skating in front of big audiences and winning world championships. But as we know in sports, in order to be the best, you also need to require the best skills. In single skating, that's about really doing the jumps. You know, the spins in the air? Going to competitions, I had no problem whatsoever to perform in front of the audience. But when it came to the elements and the parts where I had to perform a jump, my mind went blank. And that was no good, of course. So what my coach suggested me to do was to start training with my mind instead, so that for the next competition, would be mentally better prepared and able to complete those jumps. And that was the moment I started to train my mind. Now, some of you might be wondering, mental training, training your mind, what does that mean? Let me clarify that to you. Mental training is precious. And sports psychology is one of the reasons why so many athletes have become successful. It's a way for them to create a toolbox that they can utilize when they're feeling overwhelmed or when they're dealing with a lot of pressure. And it's full of those same tools I'd recommend all of us to utilize as well. No matter if you're working, you're a student, ambitious about life. Now, I've chosen 2 tools that I'm going to be sharing with you here today. And these are tools you can implement in your life starting from today. And these are tools I did since I was a little girl. The first one is about visualization. Now, visualization is about visualizing a certain process in your mind. For athletes, it's about directing an athletic script in your head that is perfect. Now, no matter if you're Usain Bolt visualizing his sprint, or you're me and my team sitting in the dressing room where we're listening to the music of our program and we're visualizing the movements that we're doing. Once we get to the moment that we have to do that program, whether it's a world championship or what competition ever, we're ready because we know what it feels like, because we've done it many times in our mind. The second one is about positive self-talk. Trust me, it's harder than you think. And what it's really about, it's about turning all the negative talk into positive talk. As we know, you don't always have the good days. You're going to go through bad days in life. When you're doing a sport, you're having good practices, but you're also going through those bad practices. And in those moments, it's so important to remain your motivation. That's why we do positive self-talk. Now, I know going to World Championships, the process is very individual for each and every one. Our team, we won the World Championships for the 3rd year in a row. And, yes, thanks. And we were the best figure skaters, and we had the best team spirit. But I know the thing that really mattered was that we were strongest up here. Now, trust me, if you start training your mind, it's going to make you become unstoppable. And being unstoppable, you know, it's the best feeling ever. You might think I sound a bit cuckoo talking about mental training and closing your eyes and visualizing processes. But trust me, once you start doing it, it will have a big impact in your life. Because when you're unstoppable, you can achieve anything in your life. And being unstoppable, that's a superpower. Thank you.